real quick, before we start, the Catboy Gecko stream is happening right now over on my Twitch. We're going to be streaming for about 6 hours playing Guilty Gear Strive in the park. If you want to come over and force me to meow, I guess, then come on down. It should be a good time. Alright, time to start the video. Guilty Gear Strive, my beloved. This is the first Guilty Gear game I've taken seriously and competed in, and I've even found some success with it. For me, it's a fighting game that just clicks. Everything just works and makes sense. I love this game to pieces. But that doesn't mean that there's not stuff that I'm critical of. I've mentioned my disdain for things like the tower system in the past, and while I've moved away from some of those opinions since the player base has shrunk, there's more that still irks me to this day. And nothing quite gets on my nerves like this little blue bugger right here. Happy Chaos is the main, sorta, villain of Guilty Gear Strive. Being extremely lore-relevant and an overall enjoyable character, it wasn't long before he made his grand entrance into the cast. And when he came out, everybody realized he was hard as balls. But it only took us a few months to realize that he was pretty broken. Happy Chaos has been on the upper end of the tier list ever since he came out, and several people still say, to this day, that he is the strongest character in the cast. But why is that? What makes him so strong? Why does he look like a blueberry, and why do I feel this undying rage-filled fire inside my stomach every time I end up fighting him? Well, let's go through his kit, his game plan, and try to pin down why the character is so strong. Let's talk about why you hate fighting Happy Chaos. In order to figure out why everyone is so sick of this blue piece of shit, we need to see exactly what it is he can do. Happy Chaos is a very unique character in Guilty Gear Strive, as he has one of the strongest gimmicks known to man. A gun. By pressing heavy slash, Happy Chaos is able to pull out his revolver. This causes two major things to happen. The first is that a reticle spawns somewhere near the opponent's current location. There is a chance that the reticle spawns directly on top of the opponent, however, most of the time, the reticle spawns away from the opponent. The reticle can spawn in a 300 by 300 pixel area around the enemy. This increases to a 600 by 600 radius if Happy Chaos activates his gun while in the air. I haven't done the math myself, I leave that to Dr. Gecko Squirrel, but the likelihood of Happy Chaos hitting you the moment he pulls out the gun is around 30%, or just under a 1 in 3rd chance. Those aren't exactly high odds, but the ability to hit your opponent with what is basically a 13-frame move anywhere on the screen for free means that it can be very powerful if the Chaos is willing to roll the dice. The shot is actually a negative edge attack, meaning that Happy Chaos doesn't fire the gun until you let go of Heavy Slash. There's probably some importance to this, but considering that Happy Chaos doesn't have any normal attacks, it's probably just useful to know for when you're doing the ridiculous combos and pressure. Basically, if you want a faster shot, hold down the Heavy Slash button so you can release it when you need it. The second thing that happens is that Happy Chaos completely loses the ability to block until he puts his gun away. He can put his gun away by doing 2HS, and the gun is put away immediately. Like, the frame data for Happy Chaos putting his gun away is legit 0 frames. My man froze that shit back into the holster, god damn. So what does the gun give Happy Chaos that makes him so strong? Well, thanks to the power of an actual handgun, Happy Chaos has extremely strong offense through the use of roll 50/50s and covering his negative moves with a gunshot, extremely strong zoning thanks to his steady aim shot literally guard crushing you, the ability to easily convert off of stray hits by just mag dumping you, the ability to turn any sequence he does into a frame chat by shooting you when you mash. It's a gun. What did you think was gonna happen? Like, I don't know what else to put here. Think of the upsides of an actual gun as a weapon in real life. Okay, cool. Happy Chaos has all of those upsides. There's gotta be a weakness, right? Like, there's gotta be something that he sucks at. Well, Happy Chaos does technically have weaknesses, but you can probably tell by the title of this video that they're not exactly enough to stop him from going on a rampage. Chaos's biggest weakness is easily the fact that his defense is extremely poor. He doesn't have a button that's faster than 5 frames, meaning he's very susceptible to being frame trapped. I mean, technically he does because gunshot is technically instant, so if you were to let go of the button, you're immediately going to shoot them, but you're not able to block while you have the gun out, so you're never going to shoot somebody in a block string. You'd be a psycho if you did. And he has absolutely 0 reversal tools in his kit. The only defensive options that Happy Chaos has at his disposal is Yellow Roman Cancel if he has meter, or Gap. The double resources that he has can also be a lot to manage sometimes. With 6 bullets in the chamber and a concentration gauge that slowly depletes while you have your gun out, it can be hard to make sure that you always have a bullet at the ready and enough brain juice to make sure that Chaos doesn't need a 2-minute Family Guy funny moments and Subway Surfer break. Because of his zoomer attention span, he can end up being quite technical when you're trying to learn him. Ignoring the negative edge, Chaos requires the player to execute some tight inputs and know the timing of when they can fire their shots, as well as knowing what sequences to use in order to get the most out of stray conversions. Even doing his zoning loops can be too much for some Strive players, and, if Chaos players are to be believed, executing his rushdown gameplay is even more mechanically taxing. Finally, Chaos has slightly less than average HP, and I mean slightly. With an effective health total of 499, he won't be able to take as much punishment as some members of the cast. Considering the average HP is around 513, not including Asuka in the calculations because he muddles everything up, he can say he has less health, but just barely. So with what he can generally do out of the way, why is Happy Chaos so bullshit? Like, he has downsides, surely they outweigh all of his powerful stuff, right? Ha 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 ha. I am laughing. Happy Chaos has a weirdly unique ability to excel at basically every region of the screen. At full screen, he has the ability to loop guard crushing, meter refilling, no resource required pressure by using a combination of steady aim, fire, reload, steady aim, fire, reload, steady aim, fire, reload, focus install, steady aim, fire, reload, steady aim, fire, reload, steady aim, fire, reload. And as long as at some point he throws his funny curse ball, he can basically go on until you run out of health or he doesn't have enough tension to focus install again. When he's in the mid-screen, he still has the ability to just shoot you because he has a gun, but he also has several normals that absolutely thrive while your opponent is slightly further away from you. Moves like his 2K are extremely quick, low profile, and give him good reward off of normal and counter hit. 2S has a slightly longer range with similar benefits, and moves like his 6S are great for getting the party started. Plus 6S gives you a ridiculous amount of frame advantage if you cancel into his focus super, meaning you have a forward advancing normal that smacks people really hard, gets combos started, and leaves you plus in their face when you cancel it. But why do you want to be plus in their face? Why would anybody want to be plus in anyone's face, Brenda? Happy Chaos has ridiculous pressure once he finally gets in on you. Ignoring Gunshot, he has a wide array of frame traps. 6K is a really good button for this, as it moves Chaos forward a little bit and can be special cancelled into 236S, aka at the ready. Not all of the frame traps are very good. A lot of the time you can throw him out of him, especially if he uses a kick, but he has a gun! At the ready is another way to get his gun out. It can counter hit launch and leaves him at +2 if you block it. When you block it, it puts you just outside of throw range and his gun reticle is directly on you. So basically, if you don't have a way to counter his 2S, you're just gonna block and pray that he doesn't mix you. And even then, when he's directly in front of your face, if he has his gun out, you're not gonna be faring much better, honestly. You may be wondering how a man whose gimmick is that he can be all mid all over the map can mix you so badly. And you obviously look like somebody who's never played a Dark Souls game in their life. Happy Chaos, for some fucking reason, is able to combat roll by using 214K. Now, the roll does low profile, higher hitting attacks, but it doesn't give him any invincibility. It literally is just a roll. However, the roll does let Happy Chaos pass through his opponents without penalty, and it's only about 35 frames of total animation. The best, or worst part, depending on your perspective, is that if Chaos has his gun out, he is able to fire it after around halfway through the roll, leading to extremely ambiguous and hard to block left-right mix-ups. Also, I'm not sure if you know this, but if you tap the dust button, you get this funny orange stink glow around you like you're an enemy in Hollow Knight, and your character does an overhead attack. Most characters tend to use it sparingly, or go for a full charge dust, but Happy Chaos players fucking love this button. Normally when you block a dust attack, it's your turn, since they're negative enough for a big punish. But when Happy Chaos is holding his iron at you and smiling with his shit-eating grin, suddenly trying to punish him doesn't look like such a good idea. Happy Chaos is able to go, ah shit, in any situation and suddenly not only make himself safe, but make himself plus by spending a shot to shut you up. Oh, it can't make you that plus, surely. Plus 23. Just a raw shot, no focus, no curse. By simply pressing heavy slash on your controller, Happy Chaos makes himself plus 23. I looked at Dustloop and I genuinely thought this couldn't be true, but it is! 1/3 of a second! You just gotta sit there as Happy Chaos does whatever the fuck he wants. And if he actually connects the bullet, then he has the best conversion tool in the game. A gun!
Hello, welcome to my Happy Chaos wall stick round start guide. So all you want to do is shit, sorry, I fucked it up. Okay, hold on. Yeah, then you just, yeah. You can do like a little bit better. You can like, yeah, like that. Yeah. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
So he has insane pressure at every area on the screen, and his downsides don't end up mattering because he has a fucking gun and can shoot you. So what's stopping everybody from playing him? He's hard. Because of his slightly funky moveset, Happy Chaos ends up having an executional barrier that needs to be overcome if you want to play him efficiently and effectively. But also if you give anyone a near infinite amount of time, and they just practice over and over, they'll be able to get his shit down. I tried doing his focus shot zoning pressure, and I couldn't do it, but I got close in the 15 minutes that I tried. So project that over a longer time period, and you'll be able to get it down eventually. He's also unforgiving, but when a character is able to do anything at any point of the screen, having them be unforgiving feels more like a requirement than a downside. Is there any hope for us, or are we just gonna get shot by this actual gun all of the time? Well, the developers have tried nerfing Happy Chaos recently to some effect. He now does less overall damage since his combos actually scale properly, and they even changed Burst in a way to try and fuck him over. Even though it didn't actually end up fucking him over and did nothing, it just forced him to think a little bit. But Chaos is the kind of character that just excels at everything and feels like there's no downsides to him. Long range, you zone loop him. Mid-range, you play footsies. Close range, you pretend like you're playing Elden Ring. He can do a bunch of crazy powerful stuff at every area of the screen. Who thought that if you brought a gun to a fight, you suddenly have a major advantage over the competition, am I right? Happy Chaos has been consistently top tier from basically the moment he's been in Strive. Once players got over his execution barrier and found strong strategies with him, he's been dominating the field, and finding a good Happy Chaos makes it feel like you don't get to do anything at all. Your character's strengths mean jack shit while fighting this man. Since Chaos can likely do what you do, he either just does it better, or he does something completely different that's just as good. But is he really top 1 right now? Like, Strive is in a really weird place, where no one can quite agree on what the top 1 character is. Happy Chaos is definitely still up there, but if you ask 10 different top players who they think the strongest character at the moment is, you'll probably get 10 different answers. There's not even consistent top characters in one given region. Happy Chaos is definitely a contender for one of the best characters in the game. He can do everything with seemingly no downsides if you play him correctly. But there is at least one silver lining for when you get to fight Happy Chaos. At least you're not fighting Asuka. As always, a very special thanks to 64 MHz, Almost Nap Time, Ben from Canada, Cervantes de Leon, Daniel Wiedericht, Fexo, Games.png, I Am Naoto, Jacko Reeves, King of Games, MP04, Ray W, Richmine, Sergeant Cubby, Super, Forcon, Tom Tanks, Voltage Charge, and Zandatsu for being Tier 2 patron supporters.